What's the story with tablette cheese? And if somebody cooks tablette cheese in a pot, can I use the pot? So tablette cheese gives a hechsher to cheese that was made without a Jew being involved. However, the Gemara says that a Jew has to be involved in the cheese making for the cheese to be kosher. The reason for this is not clear. The Gemara gives a couple of explanations, but the one explanation that stands out is that if a Jew isn't involved, a non-Jew could use animal rennet, which would render the cheese not kosher if it was an animal that wasn't slaughtered properly. So it's forbidden. However, there's a discussion that is raised. What about in areas in which animal rennet is not used, which only vegetable rennet is used? The dominant position is that doesn't matter. The rabbis forbade it. It remains forbidden. But there is a small minority position that it is permissible. And Ramah in Shulchan Aruch says that if you're from a community that's permissible, you can treat it as permissible. So Tablet embraces that position, even though our community, the Orthodox community, has clearly adopted that it is totally forbidden. They embrace that minority opinion, and they'll give a hechsher. So here you are, you don't rely on that tablet K. You say, no, it has to be a Jew involved. I don't treat that as kosher, certainly from a rabbinic perspective. Can I use the pots? Well, here the halacha is that if the pots were a day old, Eino ben yomo, and somebody cooked in it, or even if you cooked in it, as long as you didn't intentionally violate, the food that is made is actually kosher. So if the pots were made by you or your roommate, then the food actually would be kosher. Now, can I use those pots lichatchila? Can I knowingly use a pot once it's an Eino ben yomo? So here there actually is a possibility. The whole reason you can't use a pot that's not, even that it's not a day old, even though the food will be fine, is because I might come to use a pot when it still is within the first day. But would I make that type of a protection around something that is only a rabbinic prohibition, like this case of the cheese? Some achronim say, oh, definitely we would protect rabbinic laws, and particularly the cheese. That's very weighty. Others would say we would not need to protect rabbinic laws. And let's remember, there are some opinions that cheese might not be so black and white. So I think that when in cases that are really necessary, a person himself or herself could use those pots once it's not a day old. But certainly, if the roommate cooked the food would be permissible. Once something is cooked in that pot and it's not a day old, it is totally permissible. All the best.